Body to the Laboratory of Redemption. This is week 26. The topic of today is reflection, as it has been for the duration of the month of December. My name is Demetrio Shakan, aka Michi. Lovingly known as Michi. I've been doing this since 2018. Me, Travis, and Major Man, we started this wonderful journey together out in the field in Mariana. So I'm sure you know some of you guys are familiar with that story. So we've, fortunate enough to find community within ourselves and build a community and come together and survive some pretty rough times as I look back on that first deployment with those guys, man. So we're gonna have a really great call. Today, we're going to keep in line with the panel that we've been doing, man. I'm really excited about today's panel. Is our very own Coach Ryan, along with Michael Russell. They're going to be going over some great tips, man. Like Travis is saying, how to keep money, what to do with this money. So we've lined up some pretty good questions for these guys. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to drop them in the chat, raise your hand, any of that good old stuff, man. We also ask that you jump in, man, and fill out this feedback form. We have a feedback form, guys, that will help us keep up with you, see things that we need to do to add to this, to take out to this call, so we can start generating more and more people coming and joining us on this wonderful call and get this information that we have for them. So it's going to be, it's not as going to be as in depth today. Again, we appreciate you guys for joining us on this New Year's Eve. So we'll try not to hold you too long. But again, man, we appreciate everybody that's here in attendance for taking your time out and joining us and and the celebration of this past year as we reflect on it, man. And, it's been a great year for me personally, and not just financially, but personal growth as far as learning myself, becoming more self-aware with the assessment and everything of that. And it's been relationship uh has been growing, man, and not girlfriend wife thing, relationships, spousal relationships, but my relationships with my peers, my people. I'm surrounding myself with the right people, and that was in 2023. That was very big to do that for me. So as I reflect, man, just that's an important step. If people are not there to pull the best out of you, to encourage you, if people are satisfied with you giving very minimal effort, you're in the wrong group. You're in the wrong group. You need better friends. I know, I got shortcomings on my end and things that I need to have. And Travis is always calling me, "Come on, meet you. You better than this. You could do this." And I need that. I need a friend to pull out the best in me because he see more in me. So get yourself in the right circles, get yourself in the right groups, the right community.
Stay
Being
in
a
this
part of this right
community.
community, is a huge step in that, man, because we hold each other accountable here. We're building something great here. So I do appreciate you again for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Janae's going to be taking over and interviewing and starting this panel, man. So again, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Janae, this panel, let me sit back and get my notepads out.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
and please send in those questions in the chat, like Beach said, or you can always just raise your hand and we'll get to them. Hello to everyone that is new. Thank you for joining us, especially on New Year's Eve. I know there's a lot of other things you probably want to do, but I really appreciate it. Consistency is big. You know what I'm saying? For everyone in this business, it's big. That's why we here rocking with y'all. Week 26. Dang, it's been almost six. It's been 6 months since we've been doing this. Every Sunday we showing up. It don't matter what the day is, holiday, we're here. And that's really how this community is for everyone that is entering it, especially if you're working right now. I am on break. Very happy about that. I was working hard without a day off for about 6 months. So I'm happy to be home, relaxed, chilling. Very excited that you guys are with us today. Like we said, we have a good panel discussion. really quick, for those who have not been deployed yet, maybe one deployment, it might be hard to try to think about what to do with your money once you get it. But trust me, you want to make a plan now. The money's gonna come. I promise you that. You put the work in, you put the effort in, the money will come. But if you could just pay attention to what these guys have to say, so you can better prepare yourself for once you're off deployment, you kind of have an idea of what you need to be getting done. So without further ado, our very own Coach Ryan, Michael, please come off of mute and just introduce yourselves very briefly so we can go ahead and jump into this panel discussion, please.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Go ahead, Mike.
Excited for this one.
Man, how everybody doing? How everybody doing?
Hello, thank you for joining us.
Man, it's such a blessing to be here amongst everybody. You know what I mean? Another calendar down, another one on the way. It's been a journey. I know for myself, right. It's been, you know what I mean? It's definitely been an interesting year. Been a lucrative year. Been a year of like me said, growth, personal growth, learning, and I know. Speaking for myself, man, I'm just only looking forward to what's to come, and you know what I mean. The challenge is here.
Absolutely, and I'm Coach Ryan. I specialize in financial strategy and economic understanding. I own a company called New Legacy Firm, which helps people in the community to become homeowners, and also develop strategies in real estate, whether it be individual or group strategies, through focusing on taxes, LLCs, and stuff like that. Just navigating the red tape, or the proverbial red tape, to just, in my heart of hearts, what I hope to do is help to shift the scales of economic disparity. And so that's what I tend to lean my expertise towards. I've held a few positions in Fortune 100 companies as market sales trainers, business development managers. I've managed multi-million-dollar books of business, and I learned a lot. And you know, they say experience is always the best teacher. I found myself a lot of times surrounded by colleagues that were degreed. I went to college on scholarship. I didn't complete my degree, but I realized that it was really about, you know, what we talked about a month or so ago about grit. And it wasn't so much about the degrees as it was about, you know, how much you were willing to put into it. And a big part of putting effort into it is planning and strategizing. And so I felt that if I took more time to plan and strategize, those people that I was perceived to be beneath because I didn't have a degree, not only did I match their performance, but I exceeded it. And so I took that and applied it for myself. I've been in business for myself for over 15 years, all glory to God. I actually decided to you know, steer away from marketing and nightlife, but I received a call that was worth the penny. So I also have an event tonight, but you know, I wasn't going to miss this call. I love this community. I love what it stands for more than anything. So yeah, hopefully we can give you guys some things based on, you know, Michael and I's experience that will you know, steer you guys into a great 2024.
I love that. I love that. Okay. My first question is for Mike. Let me ask you, how many months out of this year were you deployed?
Total, I would say about 5 months. Like actually deploy equipment in hand, about 5 months. This is my first year, as you know what I'm saying, diving into a career and adjusting. And my first opportunity was about January of this year.
Of this year, wow. Okay, so out of that 5 months, I'm sure you've made a good amount of money. I just want to talk to you a little bit about like how have you gotten by since you've not been on a deployment? Meaning, like, is there anything else that you do like outside of adjusting for money? Like, do you have any other streams of revenue?
You have to. It's 2023, about to be 24. you definitely want to have your mind, you know, regardless of what it is, anything is profit, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've definitely been blessed enough to make some wise decisions young. I got a real estate investment company, and I do pull income from my rental property. But aside of that, really just trying to save, you know what I mean? Being conscious of, you know what I mean? Obviously, my take on my deployments, because I would work like crazy and I would burn myself out, and then I would take a month off, you know what I mean? Refresh, stay, you know what I mean? Save, manage myself to where I can do that comfortably, and you know what I mean? Whenever I'm ready to get back into it, get back into it. But all in said, I definitely you definitely want to challenge yourself to take advantage of the opportunities and try to maximize them. Whether it's in adjusting, whether it's taking that money and kind of just, you know what I mean, documenting your finance, your own personal finances, whoever your spouse is, if you're related, you know what I mean, involved with somebody's finances, kind of look at everything and just, you know what I mean, focus on eliminating any debt if you do have any, and finding a wise way to, you know what I mean, establish your credentials, you know what I mean, so you can future invest. But I even when I'm off deployment, you know what I mean, I got my hand in something. You know what I mean?
Because
Just
I
trying
just
to.
like I'm trying to wrap it like around it, like mentally when you're on deployment, you're getting paid every 2 weeks. Like it's lovely, you kind of have a guaranteed check coming in. You kind of get used to that. So I guess like mentally, when you were not deployed for many months, like was it difficult for you to kind of like navigate that, like or like how did you navigate that?
Absolutely. Like I
Because
said,
it could
I
get
made
tough sometimes after 1-2 months
man,
not
listen.
working. Like
Each of my deployments was tough being on them, and when like I said, I definitely indulge, and you gotta have some kind of time where you can sacrifice to, you know what I mean, prioritize things that you like family is for me. You know what I'm saying? My kids, my family, everything for me. So that's something I try to prioritize. But yeah, no, it definitely get rough. You know what I mean? Especially when you're accustomed to getting that money, and you know what I mean. You in that rhythm where you looking at your account rise and stuff like that. But
right.
no, it's and like I said, it ain't never easy, and it ain't never supposed to be when it's worth it. You know what I mean? So everything that's came from it, you gotta take it in stride. And like I said, this year is a year of challenge. You know what I mean? I definitely want to challenge myself this year on like I mean I was talking to Dr. Trav, man, who was just chopping it up. He was just checking on me, doing his due diligence as a solid
As he
individual
always does.
per
Hmm.
usual. And that we were just I was like, man, I was like, man, with the effort I put in, man, I know I could, you know what I mean? I can double, if not triple that. I threw a number out there, and he said, and he added 25% on it. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
not
I'm
surprised.
like, all
I'm not
right, you know
surprised.
what? Yeah, no, you know what? But that's and like Meech was saying, man, this is what we need. If I don't have somebody, you know what I mean, in my ear, just keeping it real with me on what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like, what you got going on, man? You know what I mean? How you living? With true intentions of wanting to see others succeed.
Yeah, so on the other side of that, of course, like you said, money management when you are deployed and maximizing that. Um, on your when you're not deployed, have you taken any time off like for your birth? I'm not sure when your birthday is, or like did you manage to like celebrate that, or were you working? Because I know on my birthday I was working.
Oh,
So
no, facts. Hey man, it's every day my birthday how I look at it. You know what I mean? But as far as I don't know. Yeah.
well, this year I'm not working on
Oh
my
man, as
on my
far as
birthday. I got no
only time I
plans.
feel no, no, I feel you. Only time I feel like when I left my first deployment, it was for my daughter's graduation. Mandatory, you hear me?
Mm,
So
wow.
however they was gonna look at it, I
Wow.
was gonna be there. And
So did you go back to it? Did you get released from it for doing that,
so
or?
yeah, I ended up they gave me the option. They gave me the option, but I was just trying to move in other states. I was working in Ohio, you know what I mean? I did 66 days locked in, and me,
Right.
that was my first like true field. So it was I was getting paid 12 hours a day, but I was really working 16 to 18 hours a
Yep.
day. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Trying to put
Typical.
myself in position. And
Yep.
but yeah, that was like, and then the second time I had the option to stay or go. Um and I chose to leave. And that's what me and you had a discussion. I was just like, yeah, I wish I again maximize that opportunity a little bit, because I kind of, you know what I mean, I left, it was the end of summer. I was like, you know what, man, I done put my work in. I'm gonna go ahead, grab some more licenses and kind of gear up for, you know what I mean, the next disaster. And yeah, you know what I mean, just trying to buy time. I'm glad I
Right.
did, Steve.
Right. Exactly.
You heard me.
My next question is for Coach Ryan. In your opinion, what is the biggest obstacle in getting started in real estate?
Knowledge. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
I think Mike, that was all great, bro. Biggest challenge is more than anything knowledge. Um,
Mhm.
I see a lot of times that we'll not have knowledge, and that lack of knowledge and understanding will discourage us, and so we won't even try.
Because I mean, it's scary. It's kind of like most people's biggest investment ever, most of the time. I can understand that being kind of nerve-wracking to get started in that. I know, at least for me, that's why I got into this business, to be honest, just so I could learn more about real estate so that I wouldn't
Yeah,
be as timid to get started in there.
yeah. Man, misconception is crazy. The way it psychologically impacts us. Um, you know, I remember a philosopher talking about, the big water slide being like everyone has a big water slide, and the analogy was that the most funnest thing in the park, but it was intimidating, and if you allowed it to intimidate you, it prevented you from experiencing the best thing that the water park had to offer. And real estate is just like that. Like we talked about earlier, we're going to make this money as adjusters, right? But
Mhm.
making this money isn't what's going to make you a millionaire, because, like we talked about, you make $100,000 in a year. At the end of the year, do you still got $100,000?
Hell no.
Hell no, you don't, right? You do not. But what it is the key, and this key goes
Mhm.
to a specific door, right? And
Oh no. Is it just me? No.
Yeah, he froze up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
froze up
Present.
for us. Dang, he was just heating up.
So he'll kick it back.
He will come back soon.
Froze up, coach. I don't know if you can hear us, but
Hey, it's all good. I'm keep it pushing.
Okay.
yeah,
He
Yeah, all
definitely
right.
was heating
So
up though.
yeah, he really is. All right. We'll give him a minute to come back. But Mike, since we got you on the line, let me ask you, what is I guess the biggest challenge you face so far as an adjuster?
As it would be internal. It's more
Hmm.
of a challenge within self, if that makes any sense. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Wanting to anyone successful, you read all the books, they tell you, man, it's, you know what I mean, being able to push past your own comfort, you know what I mean, and get
Mental
comfortable with
toughness.
that. Get
Hmm.
comfortable with being uncomfortable, like we all say. Um, Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you know what I mean. It wasn't. It was a great year as far as learning,
Hmm.
getting myself out there, making money. But it definitely was challenging, and that's probably the biggest thing that I took about it. Like, you know what I mean. How can I improve and make this easier for myself? You know what I mean. To
I was
rack it up
obsessed with that thought. I was
for
obsessed with
me.
that thought.
and
Like,
I'm
how
back,
can I be
guys.
more efficient? How can I be more
Hey,
effective? Oh,
So,
nice to have you
so,
back. You was just heating up.
so what I was gonna say is, behind that door is a treasure, and um, but if no one ever tells you where the door is, what good is that key? And so that's just kind of, for all investing, I think that's the context behind it is the knowledge tells you how to apply it. And one of the things you guys were talking about was like when you come off of deployment. In my background of facilitating business funding, as of today, my company for the year 2023, we helped facilitate $777,000 in business funding. One of the main things that they're always going to ask for is your most recent statements, right? So when you're coming off of deployment, kind of like how we talked about earlier, when you're coming off of deployment, that's when you have those statements, right? So it's not just a good idea to start making moves. It doesn't have to be real estate. Invest your money however you want to invest it. But we're talking about building your net worth, because we know the income is just the key. It's not what's going to make you the millionaire. Because when you're not cash flowing and on deployment, the only way to balance those scales, of your financial footing is to add to your net worth when you are not on deployment. So that when you're not on deployment, it's not so much of a challenge, So we definitely should be taking advantage of those times coming off deployment when the things that these companies and institutions are going to ask for looks great. Because if you just got off deployment and you ask for those last 3 months, statement, it's going to look great. If you haven't been on deployment in 6 months,
that's real sorry. That's real sorry.
Yeah. So, just to answer the question.
So this question was from someone in the group. How do we maximize our taxable income? Which I am looking forward to the answer. Okay. Yeah, taxes is crazy.
No, that's an amazing question. So I think we need to add a little bit of context about maximizing it says pre-tax or taxable income?
Just taxable income in general. I mean, you're the professional, so however you want to word that.
So there's a multitude of ways, right? But if I was just to give it a direct answer, it's to do efficient tax planning, right? You can say, I'm gonna go EV, I'm gonna go solar, I'm gonna purchase property in a dilapidated neighborhood to get credits. There's so many different ways that you can maximize, your income and your buying power. So there's no one way, but it's to say, hey, I know I want to be in a better position financially in the future. Let me just take advantage of what's out there. Pick one, pick a vehicle, pick a lane. Real estate investing isn't for everyone. But I do encourage and compel everyone to own their own home. We were talking earlier, there's no millionaires that don't own their home, right? And if they do it, if they're a millionaire today, in 6 months, I promise you they're going to become a homeowner. Because that's the first start of your net worth. And so we want to add to our net worth to become millionaires. 360 Adjuster Academy helps us get the key. Now you have to put in the work to get through the door. And the work is to financial planning and tax planning, but you need to own that asset first. We are in a peculiar time. As I spoke about a few weeks ago, I did the research of 1980 to now and the surges in real estate appreciation. Warren Buffett liked appreciation to the seventh wonder, or was it interest? No, it was appreciation was the seventh wonder of the world. The time that we're getting ready to go through right now in 2024, during the right after a pandemic, this is the first rate cuts since the pandemic. They will reference this time 100 years from now. It is projected that 2024 will see the largest wealth accumulation of the entire century. And we have the ability to open our eyes and take advantage of it now. Shout out to Mr. Ron Taylor. I filed his taxes this year. Shout out to Mike, who's also a tax client. We sit and talk about how we're going to file their taxes to maximize their strategy. So your tax, based on what you want to do financially. So that's how you would maximize it.
Okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask? This has been great. So, oh yes, Ryan, can you drop your tax link in the chat, please?
Will do.
Interested in that.
I got a question for Coach.
Yes, Mr. Banks.
What is the suggested investment vehicle that is thought to be profitable in 2024?
That's a great question, Mr. Davis. So here recently, money market accounts were the preferred choice because it was an easy return, 5%. So for every $100 you put in, your return was $5. For people with 401ks and IRAs, that's just growing my money 5% every year. You know, that's great for them. That's money they never touch anyway. So that's been the go-to. I am right now the largest proponent for real estate. The reason being is we see the least amount of homeowner occupancy, the least amount of home buyer rates. It's it's so slow. So getting in now before it heats up, that's kind of like how stock market is. Stock market is kind of, a good time right now because as interest rates come down, and this is the part of the economic understanding piece, as interest rates come down, businesses pay less interest on the money they borrow to operate, which means that their profit margins will increase. So businesses making more profit typically trickles down through the economy. One of the ways that it trickles down through the economy is that, pay raises continue to increase, which means affordability, grows, which means more people want to buy homes. So that's higher demand. The higher demand in an industry, the higher the price if the supply is regulated. But supply is at an all-time low. So the smallest increase of demand is going to see home prices surge. Major and I, we talk, occasionally about markets and where things are. And we had a projection, Mr. Davis, about 90 days ago about where the market would be right now and what was coming. And we pay attention to the economic data that comes out. This is national data that's reported all over the world. And this month, for the first time since the pandemic, they actually saw an increase in homeowner, like new home loans, right? That means that people are now okay with the interest rate and are willing to step into the market when there was no one. So because there's not any homes out there on the market because people have these super low rates and they don't want a new one, it's going to increase these values. So I always talk about my situation. I give God all the glory. I bought a home and I have well over, 6 figures in equity, right? And by this time next year, I'll probably increase another 30, 40% on my net worth just because of the strategy I put into the home I own as my primary. This doesn't include my investment properties. I just did a closing on Friday. And one of the things that the title company said to me, she said, the loans that the banks are doing right now for foreclosure properties are going to be the most profitable purchases of the century, because she's seeing the prices that not only they purchase from the state once they foreclose, or the county once they foreclose, but she also turns around and sees the amount of money that the banks are giving them on those properties. As an adjuster, you have a unique position of large sums of of money generation in a short time span, which almost guarantees you approvals if you're structured properly. So go ahead and buoy yourself with real estate so that when you're not on deployment, whether it's just being able to tap equity in your home or like Mike has set up, Mike has a rental property that he's got equity in, but it also cash flows every month. So he's in a win-win-win situation because he's got equity, meaning he probably owes less than, he owes probably less than 60. Well, put it like this: the home is worth 100. He probably has extra 60 in equity on top of it. I remember we talked about it about a year ago. But not only does he have that equity, but he's also generating rental cash flow from it. But on top of that, this third win is every year it goes up in how much it's worth. So, and if you ask me, there's nothing better, because if you want, let's say you want to buy a food truck and that's really your passion. Instead of you trying to take the money from adjusting, you take the money from your real estate. So it's extremely fundamental. And but anything you do on a side hustle, I can help you with your taxes and structure your business. But we have to be able to diversify using the money that we make from adjusting.
Yeah, working on that, brainstorming those ways. Thank you for that. Mike, we have a question for you in the chat. Let's see. What did you learn about yourself this year that you didn't already know? Since the topic is reflection.
Something that I really took out was how I manage my time, like my time management. Which I felt like in the past, I felt like I've done good jobs, but at the same time, it's like you put in certain situations, you just, you know what I mean? I don't want to, you know what I mean, bore everybody, but when you get down to it, to where you're thinking about like how you're using every ounce of your time, you know what I mean? It's that drove me crazy, and that's really been it's been changing me as an individual. For real.
No, I would say the same. Time management is so big in this field because it's like you run your own business. You know what I'm saying? You have to do everything besides for the company, for your personal life too. Managing your relationships, managing spending time or speaking with your spouse or significant other, parents, is definitely not easy. I agree. It's definitely not easy.
You also got to sleep.
Yo.
You gotta have recuperation time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play. When it comes to sleep, Beach knows. Don't hit my line after a certain time. Don't hit my line. My phone is on do not disturb.
Another thing that's equally as important to me is downtime. Downtime when you're not asleep, when you're not working, when you're sitting and your decompression time. It's very important, man. And if you don't do that, man, things are really, really, really start piling up on you, man. So sometimes, every day you need some downtime where you just an hour, 30 minutes or something where you just at peace and just decompressing
I would
at the
say
end of the day or
that's
something.
something that I'm looking to work on for myself too, because I've noticed that this year on being deployed, I would say my downtime has been very minimal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like I would say max an hour. You know what I'm saying? Before I'm like getting ready for bed, thinking about what I got to do the next day. When I wake up in the morning, okay, what's the next things I got to knock out first? Like that is something that I'm definitely trying to, I guess, manage a little bit better. Not let it get out of control, but definitely, have a little time to yourself to do something for yourself, because
and that's what.
Other than laundry.
Mike, I heard you earlier. Mike, I heard you earlier say, you wish you had stayed on deployment, and I totally get that. One of the reason why Mike mentioned that, and I can, not to speak for him, but I asked him this question earlier, like, why did he say that? And it's because he's looking at that number that he, when you look at your gross income at the end of the year, which dictates, how strong of a financial move you can make coming off deployment, it matters. But man, there's no wealth without health, y'all. So
absolutely,
You know, I'm with you, Michi. Yeah, I'm
Yo,
The
trying to.
it's
downtime.
very important, man. I mean, mentally, like you said, man, like who cares if you got all of that money if you broke down over there and can't get and enjoy and can't do anything. You're sitting up somewhere, you mentally, all of that. So I mean, first and foremost,
So,
man, you are the most important person that you got to take care of, man. First and foremost, and if you got the people dependent upon you, you can't be breaking down. So
so
you got to
and
take care.
think about it, Michi. Why a lot of times are we willing to run ourselves so ragged? It's to, propel whatever ambitions that we have, because we understand that, things that are worth having take sacrifice. But this is, like I told Janae earlier, I said, we're not talking about making investment moves to be cute because you make a lot of money. Yeah, it's a great idea. It's necessary, but I also feel like it's imperative for survival, because if you make the right moves coming off deployment, you won't have to, grind yourself down to nothing in order to be able to be comfortable. So
Absolutely
And
agreed.
also, it's like this could be a fun job, for some people. But at the end of the day, I don't want to get on roofs for the next 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So it is imperative that I pay attention to the things that you guys are saying, so that I could go ahead and multiply that money much faster, where I could say, you know what, I'm actually going to take this time off. Like, I actually don't need it. You know what I mean? Because this is
imagine
not
being
the.
able imagine being able to commit yourself fully to 360 and helping people,
That's it.
what we like to call in the hood, jump off the porch, like you're a specialist at helping people get into this industry so that, they too can enter into the promised land of, just financial stability and security. So, it's all our goal to eventually transition into our life's purpose, to eventually get off of an employment or, situation. But until then, let's go hard at this, guys. Let's,
Absolutely.
maximize what you can do in adjusting. If you don't have your license already, talk to any of us to let's get the ball rolling. If you're not on deployment and you need to, do some improvements so that you can, be a great candidate coming up, whatever phase of the process you are in, reach out to 360, because whatever stage you're in, we can help you. Whether you're at the beginning, just getting started, or you fresh off deployment and need to make a move, we got you 360 degrees.
Absolutely.
Yep, finding that
Word.
vision within the vision. That's what it's all about right there.
That's what I'm talking about,
Love
man.
that. Thank you guys. That
Oh,
was
man, I ain't gonna lie,
great.
man. We got we just brought it home. What time is it?
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Hey,
Good
Coach
job,
Ryan.
guys.
Hey, Coach Ryan, put your information in the chat for us.
Yes,
Miss Debbie's looking
please.
for it, so she can reach out to you.
Got you.
Information in the chat.
Tax season is coming
And
up.
I have one last question for. I know y'all doing y'all thing, but I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
The big thing for me now, well, it's been this for me, is mentorship. That changes everything when it comes to whatever you guys are pursuing. As you guys sit here looking beautiful, right? And they got like some studs right there looking good. When you hear the word mentorship, what does that mean to you? And how do we bring that to folks coming to the community? For those individuals for their first time on the call, how do we bring that to them? Like make that tangible? What kind of question is that, dude?
You asking me how do we make that tangible?
Yeah, both of you guys. Like, first off, what does it mean to you? And how do we bring that and make that tangible for someone on the call who's like I was, and like a lot of folks on here was hoping this was a real thing, hoping that the money's for real. Now, not necessarily for real, but for real for me, as in who the person is. Because it all sounds good until you get yours, and then it's good.
So
I mean, I'll take yourself
go ahead, Mike.
Man, I'm over here cutting in and out. What was
the
question?
Oh.
What does mentorship mean to you? First and foremost, right? Second part of that question would be, how do you, as far as from where you are, how do you plan on bringing that mentorship aspect to those individuals who are part of the community? How do you bring that to them? How do you plan on personally bringing that to them?
Man, mentorship is everything. In my opinion, you know what I mean? a lot of choices I made in the past, you know what I mean? If I'd have had the proper guidance, I probably
How old
could
are
have
you,
saved
man?
myself.
How old are you, man? Babyface. How old are you,
He
man?
said, baby face. Nah, I'm 30. I'm 31, brother.
I just want to give you a hug. Oh, look at it, little brother. Oh, I'm even.
But I mean, man, you use us in any way, shape, or form you can. You know what I mean? Any experiences I had, I definitely don't mind sharing. You know what I mean? Any information I have, I will be more than willing to share because that's what this is all about anyway. You know what I mean? I want to definitely tell you, my man. Listen, man, duck. When you get to this road, duck. You know what I mean? I definitely want to be able to guide you in the right direction. And man, you know what I mean. I'm always learning myself. I stay. You know what I mean. Being an open book and trying to be optimistic towards it.
Yeah, and as far as the you know, you say mentorship and then how to make it tangible. Like I said, I've been in business for myself for over 15 years, and in that process, I have a few entrepreneurs that I mentor to this day. And you know, it's really a family dynamic. You know, when you're really mentoring someone, like you receive calls, you know, late night hours or stressing over a business launch or you know event that they're doing or whatever, and I see the you know the relief they get being able to rely on somebody that's been through it to help them through it. And then like, how can you take something away from the community and make it tangible? Man, it's going to sound so cheesy. In order for it to be manifested, you got to trust it. And it doesn't matter what it is in life. If you're going to manifest something into your reality, you got to trust, you know, that it's even possible. As I mentioned earlier, everybody's going to be in their own phase of this journey. Trust that the community will have whatever it is that's missing from your strategy to manifest it and bring it to fruition. So, you know, there's been, you know, many people that's reached out to me from this community that I will fully vouch for. One of the most resourceful people, man, she's like a silent assassin, is Candace Johnson. Man, if you like, I'm gonna be honest, I care, you know, about how the rest of you guys feel, but she's my fave. She's so resourceful, man. Like she knows everybody. She's knowledgeable in her field. Reach out to her. You know, you got a doctor, you know, that is great at, you know, knowing the road to take to you know accomplish your goals, to be a motivator. You've got financial strategists. You've got, you know, people that are phenomenal at building rapport while on a deployment. You've got people that are phenomenal in Toby who will tell you what it takes to get set up so that you can be a good candidate. We have everything you guys need. Just got to trust it and reach out and just start the process and it'll manifest. So that's how you make it real.
Thank you for that. That was great.
Yeah, that's good stuff, guys. That's good stuff, man.
That's good. That's real
That boy
good.
sing.
Boy, sound good.
That boy sing.
Good Lord.
All right.
Y'all know what that's from. Y'all know what that's from.
I
Y'all too
don't.
young. Y'all too young. Y'all too young.
I really
That's
don't.
coming to America, man.
Y'all too young. Yeah. Say Chuck. All right, man. Great, man. We appreciate that, man, guys.
That's right, baby.
You know, feel free, man. You know,
Hey,
always drop it in the chat. You got questions? You got anything for these guys? Again, we got contact forms, feedback forms. We'd like for y'all to fill out, man, and let us know if there's anything you'd like for us to do, see, anything else that we need to change up. So if you guys can fill out those feedback forms. Again, if you have any questions, anything for either one of the two gentlemen tonight, drop them in the chat. You know, Coach has put out his link, so feel free to reach out to him. I'm pretty sure Mike, man, like he said, he's offered himself up. You have any questions, as we all do. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything like that, man, feel free to always reach out to us, man. Drop it in the chat. You know, again, man, we are all on all social media platforms.
Yes, please follow us.
Facebook, TikTok, IG. We're on all of that, man. So if you could please take some time out, man, go check us out. You know, hit the link, like it, share it. do all of that good stuff, man. That really would help out on the numbers. Bring a friend, bring somebody, bring a person that a loved one. This is stuff that you tell people that you love. This is good information. This is good. Don't tell your enemies this is stuff. This is good stuff right here.
Right.
Don't tell your enemies.
Don't tell your enemies this stuff. We don't want them saying, yeah. If you don't want them to be doing good, don't tell them about this. Because if they come over here, they're gonna turn their life around. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's gonna happen. And again, man, Coach is right, man. Candace is a killer. She's a silent assassin, but she knows her stuff, man. So you guys are having trouble, maybe hit her up and ask her, yo, Candace, I've been trying to do this. Nobody's hitting me back. You got any suggestions? My resume
she's a manager,
says y'all. She can give you some tips. She can. You get out there, she can help you handle yourself correctly, man. Take advantage of the people that you have on this call that are availing themselves to you. There's some really great people on this call that are here weekly for you to do that again. So I want to thank y'all personally.
Hold on. Huge shout out to Meech and Janae, man, for moderating us through the year, man. I just want to give you guys y'all flowers.
Thank you.
Y'all step up every week, man, and we just appreciate you guys. We are not 360 without y'all. Shout out to Major.
Thank you.
I know you do your thing. Shout out to
Sophie.
I just want to give y'all flowers before the year's over with.
Hey, man,
appreciate that.
BJ as well.
Coach, your check is in the mail, dog. Your check is in the mail. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. Well, man, again, man, this has been an absolutely wonderful year, man. This year's been so great that I can't, man. 2024 is gonna be so great for everybody that's here right now on this call.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody, I know without a doubt, everybody that's on this call right now, next year is gonna, man, they're gonna double this year. You know what I mean? Just because of the will. Nothing that, you know what I mean? There's no miraculous talk, nothing. I know it's gonna be great because you're gonna do it. You're gonna make it happen. You got the tools, you got the community, you got the resources, you got everything that, the support. So we're gonna ensure and make sure that it happens to each and every last one of you. So let's make sure that we, hold each other accountable, utilize us. I'm gonna utilize y'all because I call
right.
I be taking advantage of y'all. So I hope y'all do the same. Again, man. So next week is gonna be week 27. It's gonna be the first week of the year. We're gonna talk about new beginnings. We are gonna be blessed to have Mr. Wazir Naval. He is going to speak with us with the flight assessment. Eric Thomas, he's part of Eric Thomas's a group along with Dr. Travis Brock, our very own. So they're going to be speaking with us next week. So guys, next week, again, bring a partner, bring a friend, bring a loved one. It's going to be fun filled, filled with a lot of great information. So we're going to start going into some deep stuff. Introducing this flight assessment. Yeah, man, introducing this flight assessment is big. It's life-changing. So guys, I look forward again to seeing y'all next week. Thank y'all so much for joining us all these past 26 weeks. Like you said, we 6 months on it. So man, that's been great.
6 months.
I hope everybody that can hear my voice, man, have a wonderful, wonderful new year, night. Be safe out there.
Be safe.
Be safe.
And for those that are not going to be degenerates, think about those resolutions, Consistency is big. Discipline is big.
Hey.
Right.
I'm saying if you're not going to go out there,
Hey, boy, that was rough right there.
Hey, Travis, don't be out there shooting your guns in there. I know how
you're right.
Man. Travis is a whole double life, so we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know what he's going to do.
I'm hot there, baby.
Yeah. Travis putting on his Batman suit tonight.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to Ron Taylor.
Boy, Marty said you putting on your Batman suit. You're going to be saving doing crime fighting tonight while everybody doing
it. Cannot.
Crime fighting.
Boy, crime.